Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Sicilian Corner. Mikey's here. Lou is here. Where's Carol?
We're having technical issues.
You're having technical issues?
Yeah.
All right. That's okay. I'm sure as soon as she gets it straightened out, she'll be joining us. Our guest, by the way, Carol Connare. Louis, we had her on with us, I believe it was January 12th.
Yes, I think your date was right when you told me before.
Yeah. January 12th. And we talked mostly about the Old Farmer's Almanac because, like we said, Carol is the 14th editor of that publication. 232 years old.
I don't know which is more interesting. There's 232 years old, or there have only been 14 editors.
That's what
in all
amazes
that time.
me.
Yeah.
That's what amazes me. And you know something, credit to Carol. I mean, she's going to be fantastic in this role because I don't know her that well, but just from talking to her a couple of times, I'm very impressed with her. She's quite an avid traveler. And that's why this show, we're based it on her trip to Sicily back at Easter time. And she likes staying in different accommodations. Like they're similar to bed and breakfast. And I don't want to get into it in too much detail, but we'll let Carol tell us all about it, whether we can get her on today or we bring her back or whatever the case might be. But all I know is right now, May 10th, to me, this type of weather that we're having, I mean, I wish the sun would be a little bit more
sun.
Yeah. But the temperatures, I mean, you're full of, you want to do everything. You just want to keep going. You know, this morning, the sun, the sky was as red. It looked like there was a fire. I went out on the deck. It was about 5:15. I brought my cup of coffee and I'm sitting out there and I look and I'm saying, oh, my aching head. I wish I could paint. I wish I could do, keep it in place. And I have so many trees around me, unfortunately, to try and take a picture of it. It wouldn't do it justice. But the sky today, what's the saying? If there's a red sky in the morning,
at night, sailors delight. Red
Yeah.
sky in morning, sailors take warning.
Okay. I was doing with my brother this morning. We were talking, and I couldn't quite remember exactly how the words went. Neither could he. So we were going back and forth, and yeah, that's a good saying, sure. But I have never seen the sky that red like that for so long. I mean, it was beautiful.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
This kind of weather brings out problems, and you and my girlfriend are the same type of problem. You got to get into the yard. And you got to start digging stuff up and you got to start moving stuff around. You got to start landscaping. And it's like, I'm just trying to enjoy the weather, but there's so much yard work to do.
It's not that there's so much yard work to do. I make work. I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm my own.
Same as my girlfriend.
I mean, and she has a unique problem where you're on Plum Island.
Yeah.
And the soil there's no loam.
Right.
I mean, you got a lot of sand, so you have to plant according to what's going to grow there.
Right.
And I mean, every property has its unique problems. Speaking of which, did I tell you about my lawn moles, MOLES?
You mentioned it, yeah.
Freaking things for 3 weeks. They've been driving me bananas. Every morning, I look out. And I would find a mound of dirt. My lawn looks like a golf course. I mean, until these guys decided they wanted to.
Just reminded me of Caddyshack.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well, they build soil. They dig everything. They put all the soil up on top of your grass. Well, you got 6 inches of loam and dirt and a beautiful, I mean, I don't know how the hell they do it.
Yep.
It's amazing to see, but it's just not one hole. There'll be like 5 or 6 every night. I mean, I had something like 32 holes.
Have you seen one yet? Actually seen one?
I saw the ground moving.
Yeah.
He was ready to come up, and I have this stomper. It probably weighs about 25 to 30 pounds. It's a big metal plate with a handle.
Yeah.
So I saw the dirt moving around a little bit, and I'm tiptoeing, and I'm trying not to make any noise.
You hit it?
And I don't know, but I hit that thing in the ground so hard. If he was anywhere near it, I squashed the living bejeebus out of him. But anyway, long story short. So I said, what am I going to do here? This is a joke. I mean, Jesus, everything looks terrible. It really did. So I called one of the companies that comes and take care of your yard, and very well known, does a lot of advertising. And I told him the story. The guy says, oh, I'll be out this afternoon. I'll give you an estimate. He came in like $330.
Whoa.
$330 for 2 treatments. One was going to be a spray, which I don't like because I've got a lot of rabbits I got a lot of animals in the area.
Chickens.
We got the chickens.
Yep.
We got Abigail and Henrietta, and I don't want them to spray, to be honest with you. I'm very careful about that. And the other was going to be a granular mix that they were going to put in. I mean, almost $350.
Wow.
I says this. So I went down to Dodge Grain in Salem, New Hampshire. And
Dodge Grain is still there, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how that building still stands.
Been there forever.
Yeah, I know. I mean, geez, back in the day when Rockingham Park was at its flourishing, I mean, geez, they would have truck after truck after truck of hay going out of there. It was, and things have changed. And the same family still runs it, and they're nice people. And I walked in and I says to the guy, I got a problem. He says, oh, yeah. He says, this year, a lot of people are having it. He says, I got something for you. He says, I want you to put this down. So I bought 2 bags, and they were about 8 pounds to a bag or something like that. I don't know. It was $18 a bag. Well, geez, $36 for 2 bags compared to $350. If it works, I'm golden. I mean, I'll take a trip and go to Encore and play. It won't cost me nothing. You know what I mean?
What is it, though?
But it's called Mole MOLE Max. Mole Max. So for any of our listeners out there, if you have the problem that Mikey was going through and getting extremely frustrated, I actually took out my 22. I'll be honest with you. Can
you do that in Wyndham legally? You shooting in the backyard, Mike?
No.
You realize this is public airways, right? So you've threatened to hitting the mole, and now you're going to shoot the mole.
Well, anyway, I entertained that. That's how pissed off I was getting.
Yeah, no,
I mean, he was really annoying the living bejeebus out of me. You know what I mean? So anyway,
you do like Caddyshack. You're going to get the plastic explosives and make the little female mole and try to attract him.
That movie was on not too long ago. One night, and for some reason I got it. I was flicking through the channels, and I came to, I think I was watching a Red Sox game, and I couldn't stand it anymore, so I switched. And that was really funny. I mean, that was a good movie. That was really funny. They had some good characters in there.
Yeah.
And but anyway, yeah, it's kind of similar to that. But the good news is I've gone a week now without a hole, and I've patched everything up. I put new grass seed down, and I'm actually starting to get a little bit of fuzzy wuzzies. So, it won't be long. I mean, you won't even know.
So where do you apply this Mole Max?
You put it right on. You put it in a drop spreader.
Put it all over the yard.
Not all over, but I'm concentrating on this portion of the lawn just yet. I just want to see. I've done 2 treatments. I figured 1 helped. 2 is only going to help twice as much. So I did 2 treatments. So I've gone through like 8 pounds. So I got a bag left, and we'll see. But if anybody out there is having trouble with moles, man, I'll tell you, go down to Dodge Grain and Salem Depot and tell them Mikey sent you.
I told you when I bought the house, the first house, we had mold problems too, and we get an exterminator and they were trapping them. And I'm thinking, trapping them, they're going to take them out to the farm.
You trapped them?
No, they trapped them.
Oh, they trapped them.
Trapped them. And I'm thinking they're going to take them out to the farm. I don't know what they did with them. And then I found out that they just drowned them.
Yeah, that's exactly.
You can't do anything in Massachusetts.
So your heart wouldn't allow that?
No, I wasn't going for that. So every day I'm racing home to beat the exterminator to the trap. And I take them across the river and release them in a cemetery, which is illegal in Massachusetts. But can't transport rodents, apparently.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we had a friend of ours that did some work at Tommy's house, Tommy Zappala's house, cut a tree down, a huge oak tree. Massive. I mean, the size of this thing, if it would have ever fell, it would have split the house
Yeah.
right in half. I think,
Yep.
I mean, you live pretty close to
Yep.
there. And this guy, Frank, fills up his trailer and he's carrying wood back. Well, he lives in New Hampshire. Of course, he overstacks things anyway. I mean, he's breaking every rule of the road. I mean, he holds it together with bungee cord. I don't know what the hell he does. But the state trooper pulled him over and says, where you going with the wood? He says, bringing it to my house. Where do you live? I live in Pelham. He says, where was this wood cut?
Oh.
And
Yeah.
they really, I mean, they gave him a really hard time. I don't know what
because of what he might be transporting.
Yeah,
Oh,
going across the state line.
Interesting.
It's just like boats. You put a boat in a lake in Massachusetts, and then you bring it up to, say, Cannibal Lake.
Yep.
And you go to put it in. They're there checking the bottom of your boat.
Oh yeah, they got all kinds of weeds and stuff.
Yeah, because everything has its own little problems with it. Every lake has got something that is predominant in it, and you're introducing that to, say, drinking water or Salem, New Hampshire. That's another thing that really kind of pisses me off, to be honest with you. Cannibal Lake, so much of it is on the Wyndham side. A lot of the water is on the Wyndham, and it's a relatively small lake. It really is. And somehow, someone who could probably sell snow to an Eskimo convinced the town of Wyndham that Salem was going to have the water rights and Wyndham wasn't going to have any for a piece of land.
Yeah. It's a trade-off, huh?
How the heck did that ever fly? Who in their right mind? I say payola. That's what I say.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Never know what was going on back then, right? They probably get a piece of land along with it. Having problems there?
Much better, I think. How's that? I think we got it squared away now. I was trying not to mess up my hair, because it bothers me. When I leave here, I stop someplace. I feel like I got feathers sticking out all over the place. I was
telling somebody yesterday your hair was rated for 17 miles an hour.
Yeah. Every once in a while, if it changes quickly, that really irks me. But I try to walk into the wind so it slicks it straight back. But that becomes a problem.
So you got to be aerodynamic, right?
Well, this is it.
Yep.
This is it. Let's talk Red Sox for a minute.
Okay.
What in the world is going on?
They're not spending any money.
That's what I say too. I said that to Barbara the other night. I says, Jesus, I says, they're happy and content being a 500 club if they can be a 500 club. But their pitching is surprising the living bejeebers out of me.
Pitching has been good.
The pitching, I don't know why, but the hitting, I mean, but I saw Devers come up a couple of times in the last couple of games, and once the bases were loaded, it was the 8th inning, and Cheap strikes out. The time before that, there was a guy on second and third. He did the exact same thing. They sign these guys up to these huge contracts. You lose the incentive, I think, to. I don't know. I look at it
with a lot of players. I think it happens with a lot of players, and we see it in the opposite when players are in contract years. Some players just go nuts when they're in contract years, and it's like, where's this intensity every other year?
They can't turn it up all the time. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Money talks, BS walks. That's for sure. I mean, there's no question about it.
Don't dig in too deep on the pitching though, because it's still April, early May. Weather gets warmer. Bats start to come out a little bit.
Well, Devers is like that.
Talk to me at the All-Star break. We'll see how good this pitching is.
Well, something. I think I'm surprised at what they're doing with the arms that they have.
Oh, they've been good. They've been better than expected.
And giving up on Sale the way they did, and after everything they went through and the millions of dollars they paid that man.
Yep.
And seeing what I think he's like 4-1. I think
he's pitched very well for them. Yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of that.
Yeah. And he seems like something. I mean, accident prone. I don't know. Falling off a bike. I don't know.
Yeah,
but
that wasn't falling off a bike.
No, I know that, and you know that. But it is what it is. But
let's take our break.
You want to take a break, and then we'll see if we can get Carol once
She
again.
tried to connect once again, but
All right.
didn't make it. But
And,
we'll see.
something we can't do at this show, we'll do it another show. Listen, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to be back. And Louie and I are going to convince, but we'd love to hear from you. 978-659-0072. All right. Take care, everybody.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. You know, Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's Seaside Italian Kitchen and Pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibes Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites in the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they are Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
When you dine at Ristorante Melisse in Amesbury, Massachusetts, you feel at home while enjoying an authentic Italian dining experience not to be forgotten. From the appetizer to dessert, you won't regret your choice. Bring your cravings and appetites. They promise you won't leave hungry or without leftovers for the next day. Takeout and catering are also available. Give them a call or visit them online for the menu, online ordering, and reservations. RistoranteMelisse.com. That's RistoranteMolise.com or call 978-388-4844. Ristorante Melisse, where you're treated like family.
Hi, this is Mikey. Do you need to have some work done on a cement walkway, stone steps, or the cement deck around your pool? Recently, I had concrete work done on 2 eyesores on my property. Work was done by New Hampshire Masonry and Construction. They service New Hampshire and Massachusetts. The question becomes, was Mikey happy with the finished product? Not happy, but ecstatic. If your project is brickwork, stone, or concrete, get a free quote for New Hampshire Masonry and Construction. A telephone number for more information, 603-438-9168. 603-438-9168.
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas, with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler,
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
We have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at Four Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Drake, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back, and it's going to be Lou and Mike for the duration of the show.
We worked during the break.
Yeah, I know you did. You worked very hard, but you know something, it just didn't happen. Carol Connare, editor of the Old Farmer's Almanac, was scheduled to be on with us, and we're going to get her on because I find her.
We like Carol.
I do, and she's very, very interesting. And you know something, I love the experience. How she likes to go on vacation, because it's totally different. I never even heard of the word agritourism. I never even heard
agritourism.
Yeah. It's a coined phrase, and it's used mostly in countries have similar programs. It's basically like farmhouses. You go instead of a bed and breakfast,
right?
Okay. You would go to a rural setting and you would live on a farm with the people that run it. And you can do what you can do, a share in the chores. You know, I could see Carol getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning, going out and milking the cows. I mean, I can see that because she's very active. She loves hiking, but she's an avid traveler. And she's got some great experiences.
Like a farm Airbnb.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. And like I said, I never heard of that word until I started doing a little bit of research. It's called agriturismo. Agriturismo in Italy. And like I said, in different parts of Europe, depending upon where you are, they have that different coined phrases to go. But I mean, it's a cottage industry. The
sounds interesting.
The Italian government, 1985, because so many people were losing their farms. They weren't making enough money to keep them. They decided to open up the area, if they met certain criteria, to taking in lodges. And the thing has taken off like crazy.
I'll bet.
And not just Sicily, all over. I mean, Tuscany, there are a ton of them in Tuscany to choose from. And you can go from really primitive, and I'm not talking outhouses, by the way, but you can go from really primitive to something that has a beautiful pool.
Oh, wait a second. I think we have Carol.
No.
All right. Carol's here. Hi, Carol.
Hi. Oh,
Wow. Well, stranger, how are you?
I'm good, but I had to uninstall Chrome and then reinstall it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So I'm sorry about that.
No problem. I've been giving people just a little brief rundown on you, and it's always a pleasure to have you on board with us. And our first visit, we talked mostly about the Old Farmer's Almanac. The reason I asked you to come on, Carol, is you're quite a traveler. I know you travel extensively to South America, North America, Europe. This last trip, you have a certain area that you like to stay in as far as lodgings facilities. Would you like to tell our listeners about why you choose and what the advantages are and of staying in one of these facilities?
In the agriturismo, you mean? They're so amazing. Yeah. I think Sicily did something really cool by promoting agriturismos. And I think, I've been going to Sicily since 2011, and it really has taken hold. I don't know what kind of financial incentives they give, but families are able to go back to the feudal estate essentially. Yeah. And, they're very small. The first one we stayed at only could take 12 guests. That was the size of our group. And so you're really with the family, and out your door is the food that they're going to prepare for you, or the ingredients at least. So as a grower and a food person, I definitely like staying on the farm the best. And it is a very, I'd say, intimate experience. So that we stayed at 2 this time, and both were incredible.
I noticed there's quite a few of them, a lot in Sicily, a ton in the Tuscany area, which I happen to love. It's just a beautiful, beautiful area. I know you were working on your computer, but I made a comment. I don't know you all that well, but I did say that, you're very active and you like to participate. And I says, I think Carol gets up around 5:15 in the morning and probably goes and helps milk the cows. And you can do whatever you want to do, basically, right? I mean, you can do as little or as much as you want to by helping out on the farm.
Absolutely. And we weren't really doing any of that activity, more so just enjoying the food. But, the scenery is so lush. And I think, it has to do with in fact, growing in the Old Farmer's Almanac. It's the old way. Each family had their own set of olive trees and almond trees and, everything they need really at their fingertips, and even a little bit of livestock. So, I think it's like a little ecosystem, each one, which is very cool.
This cottage industry was set up in 1985 by the government. We just basically touched upon that a few minutes ago, and it has taken off like crazy, and it's enabled people to hold on to their farms.
I can't tell you, so many generations. We had Easter dinner with 3 generations of the family. That was just down the hill from the bread arches, and so we got to meet Grandpa and Grandma and their son and their kids, and they're able to all live there and make a living. And a lot of them were formerly teachers. And so it is enough. Whatever they've done to incentivize it has been incredible, has a real impact.
Something that you're going to find interesting is the fact that last year, Louis, 1 million tourists stayed at these facilities. 1 million
in Italy alone.
Just in Italy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. It's incredible. I find that hard to believe, but it's true. I looked it up, and
but if it's keeping these generations of families on their farms, what a great program.
Absolutely. And the farm has to generate income on its own without having tourists staying with them. And they have to, what's grown on the farm is basically what you're going to get fed. Speaking of food, Carol, is there a menu, or you just eat what the family's going to eat, or how's something like that work?
Totally seasonal. So almost every meal we had an asparagus frittata because that's what was in season.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's
not bad. Not bad.
Not bad.
And we were, the first agriturismo was really in the center of Sicily, which is the bread basket. It's all the wheat fields, and so we're eating just like the most delicious semolina, pasta that was just made a few miles away. So that's incredible. So yeah, I think whatever they're eating seasonally also. The second place we stayed was owned by a butcher family, like a very extensive family, and so just a gorgeous scenery, and the animals are grazing, and as you walk up to the place,
wow.
And that's going to be dinner. So
how big of a group were you on this trip?
Just 12 with then a tour guide and a bus driver who we knew from teaching our students, so they're really friends.
That brings that, I was going to ask you the question of getting around. So you had basically a bus driver that shuttled you all over. Is there GPS in Sicily?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Though
does it work?
It does.
All right.
It does if you have good service.
Well, that was my point. That's why I brought that up. It's kind of crazy, but I can imagine. I grew up. My granddad, my nanu, Big Mike. He had a grape arbor that ran the length of his little farm, and we would sit out there at night. I mean, I was, crying out loud. I was 5-6 years old. I always had a glass of wine for my meal. I thought everybody in America did that. And then I started having some friends, and Tom McDuffie happened to be one. And his mother, I was over the house one day. It was like 3:00 in the afternoon. She says, Michael, would you like some cookies and milk? Milk and cookies. What the hell? Where's the wine? But I was so used to homemade wine.
Right.
September was magical. Who helped pick the grapes, and Jesus, I'll tell you, it was just, he'd buy some grapes, mix it in with his Concord grape, but the wine would make 2 big barrels of wine, and that's etched in my head. At my age, I think I look back and I can almost smell it. I can almost smell it, But
see, my Irish grandfather was making alcohol too, but it wasn't wine.
No, made it in the bathtub, right? Hey, Carol, price-wise, what kind of price structure agriturismos compared to like bed and breakfast?
Oh, I think it's similar, but I think we went, it wasn't high season, so I think they tend to be a little bit cheaper overall, but they fill up too, so and everything's included. Typically all your meals. So that's kind of, I think, where you get a price break on that.
Okay.
I would say maybe it's a couple $100 a night, but it's, we stayed in doubles and just gorgeous properties, like little stone houses for 2 guests each, or up in the main house. And again, just walking out, it makes me upset that we don't have rosemary hedges wherever we go, and they do. And
fennel growing on the side of the road.
Right. And we went to this grist mill, and they showed us how the whole thing was done. And unlike in the US, where the whole grain is basically, they process the wheat like white wheat, and then they add some whole stuff back in. They never do that. They just process it whole. And so what happens is it's alive. Like I brought this little bag of flour back, and I made focaccia, whole wheat focaccia, and I just waved the yeast at it, and it just exploded.
We're looking at some pictures, and boy, I'll tell you, it makes you want to be there. I can picture myself. I'm familiar with Sicily. I've been a few times, and I have relatives there on my wife's side.
That says, "Love is love. It's not chickpea soup." That's what that saying is under the window. And
is that it? Really?
In the altar there's a shroud, and there's only one of 2 churches, we were told, in Sicily that still have that shroud. It's several hundred years old. Of course, lots of them deteriorated, but that one was left. It was just beautiful.
Wow. At Easter time, the temperature, what part of Sicily, first of all, were you in?
We spent the first half of the week in the middle part of the island. And so that was really, it's where all the wheat fields are.
Okay.
And and of course, many agriturismo. It was in the 70s. It was 60s and 70s. We had amazing weather.
Perfect.
And then we went toward more toward Catania, and we stayed outside of Catania for the second part of the week. And again, it was beautiful weather.
You were in the Taormina area?
We didn't go to the Taormina area. We didn't want to go to any tourist spots this trip. So we stayed in the countryside after White Lotus. That's our bus driver there by the that's the second agriturismo. So he's checking his phone. So I think you got GPS there.
There you go. You have quite a few people that are saying hi. Andy Parisi said hello. Nancy DeMarco is saying hello. Barbara Cody. They write in, and they're our regulars, and they always have a lot to say. And, something, the name of the show is the Sicilian Corner. And, something, that's why I wanted to get into this a little bit, because it's something new for me. I never heard of it. I'll be honest with you. My wife, God bless her soul, when we went anywhere, I mean, if there wasn't room service, she wouldn't go. I mean, that's just the way she is. It was her makeup. That was the first thing she asked, is there room service?
Yep.
But, something that, but these facilities can be somewhat rustic, or they can be in the upper end. I saw some pools that were beautiful.
Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah.
Have you stayed in an area more than once? In other words, at a facility more than once?
I think when we took the students, we would stay in the same hotel in Taormina, but I don't remember the name, but it was begin with an A. But yes, we would stay just because, it was like kind of a nice, friendly to students kind of a place, not too pricey, but also not, the drags. So it was kind of middle of the road. But no, we typically go to new places every time, which is nice.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. Before we go to a quick break, you're going to stay with me to the top of the hour, okay? Because
now that I'm on.
Now that you're on, I mean, this it was kind of interesting because I'm looking at the clock and I said, 90 seconds to go. I wonder if I know she's a pro. I know she's used to this, but is she that good?
I didn't give up.
No, she didn't. No.
That's for sure. And I'm glad you joined us. But I just wanted to ask you how you got there and what was the best way for our listeners to travel to Italy. So when we come back, we'll talk about that and a couple of other things. And I want to talk about the arches of Easter, and there's a lot. Louis, why don't you take us out? We'll be right. Carol, don't go anywhere.
I won't touch a button.
Do not push nothing. All right. We'll be right back.
Ciao, this is Esther of You, Me, and Sicily. I want to talk to you about Tommy Amin and the great staff at Butcher Boy Market. Families, foodies, and home chefs come together at Butcher Boy to talk good food and create traditions. They offer the best in quality cuts of beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and restaurant-style steaks and chops. Produce? All of their produce is hand-selected to complement any meal or even to make it your main course. Their deli serves fresh roast beef, turkey, and beautiful imported Italian cold cuts, cheeses, and antipasto. And don't forget the Butcher Boy Bakery, featuring sweet delectables from all over the state, as well as their very own bakery. That's Butcher Boy, where the secret to a great steak is, of course, the steak. Located at 1077 Osgood Street in North Andover, Massachusetts, in the Butcher Boy Plaza. Ciao!
This is David from the Sicilian Corner. Mike, Tom, and I love to go to Salisbury Beach, but we love different things and can never agree where to go. Tom likes the casual family-style dining with the great Italian cuisine, Capri's Seaside Italian Kitchen and Pizzeria. Me? I love the elegant romantic vibes Sea Glass with the amazing view and terrific menu, with prices that make it the place you want to visit each and every week. Mike loves a drink in his hand and a cool ocean breeze right off the surf and the rhythms of a cooler reggae band. We all know Mike loves Bob Marley tunes at Surfside. Who doesn't love a great show? National acts, comedy, regional favorites, and the beautiful and intimate Blue Ocean Concert Hall. Lucky for us, Atlantic Hospitality is the host of all of these great places, and they treat everyone like they're Mike Lamazzo. Best of all, we never have to choose. Park the car once and all this fun is right at your fingertips. You can have it all in the heart of Salisbury Beach. Find out all the ways you can have a great night at Salisbury Beach at northshorepavilion.com. And Mike, Tom, and I will see you there.
This is Tom Zappala. Located in the heart of downtown Haverhill, the Haverhill Beef Company is a full-service, old-fashioned butcher shop and meat market that continues to be a valued family tradition since 1952. Peter and Monica Carboni's Haverhill Beef offers individualized service from an outstanding selection of marinated sirloin tips, homemade sausage, marinated chicken, and thick, juicy Chairman Reserve steaks. Your family deserves the best, so call Peter at 978-374-4795 or visit their website at www.haverhillbeef.com.
Sisters and co-owners Antoinetta and Elisa brought their family authentic Italian recipes from Molise, Italy, and a warm and welcoming dining experience to its customers at Ristorante Molise. The combination of their meals made from natural, homemade, fresh ingredients, and your time with family and friends together at dinner time is unmatched. Located in Market Square in the heart of Amesbury, they're open for dinner Tuesday through Sunday from 3 to 9 p.m. and are available for private parties during off hours. For reservations, call them at 978-388-4844. That's 978-388-4844.
Hi, this is Mikey. Do you need to have some work done on a cement walkway, stone steps, or the cement deck around your pool? Recently, I had concrete work done on 2 eyesores on my property. Work was done by New Hampshire Masonry and Construction. They service New Hampshire and Massachusetts. The question becomes, was Mikey happy with the finished product? Not happy, but ecstatic. If your project is brickwork, stone, or concrete, get a free quote for New Hampshire Masonry and Construction. A telephone number for more information, 603-438-9168. 603-438-9168.
Legacy Care Law Firm provides estate planning and elder law services to people in the greater Merrimack Valley and southern New Hampshire areas with offices in North Andover and Woburn, Massachusetts, as well as Nashua and Salem, New Hampshire. Discussing family and financial matters with an attorney can be intimidating, but our goal is to help you prepare for the future as you preserve your legacy. We help clients qualify for government medical benefits and ensure their estates are preserved for their families so they don't need to worry about their estate being wiped out by high nursing home expenses. Legacy Care Law Firm attorneys are here to support your journey toward a more secure financial future.
At Catadella Funeral Home, we reinvest in our business to provide your family with the best facilities. It begins with a beautifully landscaped exterior, parking for 250 vehicles, and a comfortable and inviting access to our renovated interior. Funerals can be costly, so you should review and compare plans to make sure you receive services that are fairly priced. I invite you to experience the Catadella difference in cost, facility, and service.
Catadella's honoring and celebrating the lives of the people we loved, providing exceptional care since 1929.
Italian artisan cuisine combines simple, fresh ingredients with time-honored preparation to create an incredible culinary experience. At Tuscan Kitchen, located in Salem's historic Depot District, talented chefs prepare everything in-house from scratch for all to see. Guests enjoy their meal literally in our kitchen as food is prepared right in front of you. Wood ovens burn from morning till night, roasting vegetables, baking bread, and firing delightful thin-crust pizzas. Prime steaks are seared on a wood grill. A rotisserie slowly roasts marinated whole chickens and lamb, while a pasta maker creates fresh fettuccine. More than just artisan cuisine, Tuscan Kitchen features the wine bar, live entertainment, weekly wine tastings, and elegant private dining and event space. Call 603-952-4875 or visit TuscanKitchen.com to make a reservation and learn more about the culinary adventure that awaits. In Italy, cooking is an art form. Tuscan Kitchen. Experience artisan Italian.
Orthopedics Northeast and Essex Orthopedics have joined forces as Mobility Bone and Joint Institute to bring improved access and outstanding medical care. While our name has changed, our dedication to exceptional care remains the same as it has for the past 30 years. Same location, 16 Pelham Road, Salem, New Hampshire.
This is Cindy.
And Mike Kunstler.
Owners and operators of Four Oaks Country Club and Grazie Italian Restaurant in Drake, Massachusetts.
Grazie Italian Restaurant is the hidden gem of the Merrimack Valley.
Why is that?
we have an incredible chef, Oscar Figueroa.
In the words of local famous chef and restaurant owner Lydia Shire,
Oscar thrives on hard work.
he is capable and gifted.
No one makes better food. Scallops, seared to perfection.
House-made ravioli with farm-fresh local corn.
And buttery, tender, lazy man's lobster, just to name a few.
You have to come experience Grazie Italian Restaurant for yourself.
Grazie Italian Restaurant, located at 4 Oaks Country Club, 80 Meadow Creek Drive in Draycott, Massachusetts. Hope to see you soon.
And we are back, and our guest is Carol Connare. We were finally able to get her on with us after an interesting beginning of the show. Anyway, Carol, you travel extensively. I know that. The best way to get to Sicily, in your opinion, would be flying from where to where?
Oh, hang on, that's me.
Munich and then Catania.
Okay.
That's the airport that we typically land in Sicily, or Rome. I mean, it kind of depends. I've been through Milan, but I think just the Lufthansa has been more consistently the best airline.
That's good to know, because a lot of people are planning trips now for September, October, if they haven't already. So it's interesting to say the best way of going and probably the best as far as cost structure.
Absolutely.
So that's good.
That was the biggest Airbus I'd ever been on the way back, a full 2 stories. Have you been on one of those?
Yeah, I have.
Holy moly.
I know. It's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different ball game. The Easter arches. Could you tell our Sicilian Corner listeners a little bit about them and the history behind it?
Sure. That's actually why we went this year. Our tour guide, like I said, is someone we worked with students, and the fellow who I teach with, Rick, or taught with, he's retired. He sent me this article about this town that makes bread arches. And we sent it to our friend Rose, the tour guide, and said, why have you never showed us this town? This is terrible of you. We have to go. And so that's really was the inception of this tour, to go for Easter and to see what was going on there. And so it's been going on for about a century, and it's really so fun. So the town divides into 2 teams, and one's the Jesus team and one's the Madonna team. And for months, they keep secret their artistic interpretations that they're going to unveil in the streets. And then that happens on Easter Sunday, and they hold a pageant. And to me, it's just like so Italian that it's the triumph of Jesus over death. He gets to see his mama again. And so it's really a celebration, but the art is amazing. And this is all done by the townspeople. And so we were lucky enough, knowing that we wanted to go see this, to go on Good Friday and see the frenzy of the preparations coming to the culmination, and then to go back on Easter. And so, love is really the theme this year. And so there was just beautiful expressions. They made mosaics. A lot of it is wheat or food themed. And so
natural products. Yep.
Yeah. So the paintings are mosaics of seeds or beans or legumes and things like that. There was like macaroni art.
Rosemary.
Yes, everything. And then all of the bread that you see on the arches is like a shellacked bread, but almost like a Play-Doh. And then that stays up for almost a couple months, and they'll charge €1 for people to go through. It becomes a fundraiser, very low barrier, just kind of a goodwill thing. But it's basically a church in the street,
What a nice excursion. Boy, that was a nice experience.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
To
and
see
Louis, these arches, Louis, are 16 feet high.
Right.
I mean, they're huge. I mean, they really are.
Yeah,
I have never been, but I've seen pictures, and it's incredible. Hey, Carol, David Lottie, he just wrote in and he says, I have to try an agriturismo on our next trip. Sounds interesting and relaxing.
Definitely relaxing. And like you said, like all of them make their homemade wine. So, the wine comes out in big plastic jugs, and it's delicious, and it's low sulfites, and it's usually a little lower alcohol. So it's, it's just real all natural.
Well, I was very impressed by reading about those Easter arches and that little community. And boy, I'll tell you, you talk about a nice tradition. That's wonderful. That's
And then
wonderful.
everybody in town turns out,
Yeah, everybody comes
dressed
out.
up and
Easter morning, they actually make characters out of bread and they put them on the arches.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of, man hours. I mean, it's unbelievable. And these things are massive, massive. And they have different themes, like Carol said. Every single year, they have a different theme. This year, it's about love, which is a wonderful thing. I think there should be more love in this world. I really do. I really do. So you had a wonderful trip, huh? That's fantastic.
Yes, we had a cooking lesson one day too, which was amazing. I know you. After I see all your commercials, I'm like, oh, I'm so hungry. But we learned all kinds of things: lemon mashed potatoes, potato pancakes. We did salt, branzino and salt, and then caponata, which is so. I had never made that from scratch.
No kidding.
So that was incredible. I didn't know you fry all the parts and then you put them together. I learned a lot.
There's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. It looks easy when somebody else does it. But,
Yeah.
And you're an accomplished cook. I mean, you love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, speaking of which, how's your garden? What's going on? May 10th, baby. What's happening?
I know. Well, I have I have cucumbers and basil started in my hallway here at work because I'm about to move. I started this job last year, but my daughter was graduating high school in a couple of weeks, so I needed to wait. So I'm moving to a place that has an amazing garden. It actually has a permaculture orchard. So there's pear trees and cherry trees and blueberries and raspberries and pawpaws and trees I've never heard of.
Oh, wow.
So, and kiwi, hardy kiwi. I've never heard of that. So I have my hands full, but I do have things started. How about you?
Like he's fighting moles.
I've been fighting lawn moles.
Oh.
I think I won the battle, Carol. I think I won the battle. I'm not 100% sure. I think I bopped one over the head. I think I got them anyway. I'm doing okay with that. I'm fortunate enough. We have listeners that treat us very, very well here on the show, and I have Roger who brings plants over and I put them up in the deck. So I go out, I pick cherry tomatoes every day and this, that, and the other thing.
So you're doing containers? Do you do containers?
Yeah, I do it in the containers.
Our latest book is the Container Gardening Handbook. Containers, people love them. Everybody can jump in, Yeah.
The Old Farmer's Almanac, I have to go back to that because some of the sayings that you guys put in there, I love the trivia part. I love everything about it because no matter when I pick that book up, I read something that I missed before.
Right.
And we're talking about weather lore for May. And there was something in here that really hit me. Let's see. When apple blossoms bloom at night for 15 days, no rain in sight.
Oh, wow.
I love that. And then there's one about the cat. When a cat washes her face over her ear, 'tis the sign the weather will be fine and dear. I love stuff like this.
I do too.
This is cool. I really do.
Do you know about the 3 chilly saints?
Well, I did not know about it until I picked up what, Carol?
The Old Farmer's Almanac.
Amen, sister. And it's amazing about the chilly saints. We've got about a minute and a half. Can you just kind of give us a brief rundown on the 3 saints?
Well, it's these 3 days in May, the 10th, 11th, and 12th, and they're just typically the kind of that last blast of chill.
Exactly.
And just kind of historically that way. It's again kind of folklore, or weather wisdom, as you might say, but it is going to be a little chilly for Mother's Day. And so we kind of got it right this year.
Well, I live right on the Massachusetts-New Hampshire border. So the weather is different than, say, if you were up in the lakes region, that's for sure. But everything is so lush, so green. Louie and I were talking about this earlier. It's a pleasure to walk around the yard because every place you look, there's new birth.
Mm-hmm.
you walk and there's nothing there. You go out at night, all of a sudden something is erupting through the soil. I just think it's great.
And we've had that boom day where all the leaves are out, and all of a sudden you're driving along the highway and you go, oh God, all the leaves are out.
Yeah, I know. And it's like it happens like in 2 or 3 days. I mean, all of a sudden you got foliage everywhere. Hey, Carol, it's always a pleasure, my dear.
Thanks for having me after I finally managed to get here.
Something, things like that happen. That's why we do it live. We have fun with it, and something. Don't take yourself
Actually, we've been worse. So.
Oh, much worse, much worse. I'd like to wish Carol. I'd like to wish you and all the other lovelies out there a happy and wonderful Mother's Day. I wish we could have more than one day to celebrate Mother's Day, to be honest with you. You ladies do an unbelievable job. You really do. Your job never ends. A man thinks he goes to work, brings home a pay, and that's it. A woman, sometimes they more than likely are working, and they come home, they got children to take care of, house to take care of. I salute you. I salute all of you. Listen, a happy Mother's Day to all. Carol, I hope we can come back again, and we'll spend the whole hour this time.
Sounds good.
To touch the surface. Hey, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. And ladies, be spoiled, please. Be spoiled. Talk to you later. Take care.